Today, friends and family gathered in the Prescott area to mourn the loss of Levi Wallace. He was one of the 4 friends who lost their lives in a plane crash Sunday evening near Sedona.
Sierra Ferguson shares Levi's story through the eyes and pictures of his friends and family.
These are the young people that if you were to call and say, oh my goodness, my house is flooding, I need somebody to come help and get this, they would be there and do that without question. These are the young people, literally all 4 of these young people could change the world.
Today, the parking lot at Heights Church was filled by a grieving community. A community gathered to mourn the loss of Levi Wallace, one of the young people whose lives were claimed by a plane crash near Sedona. Described as ever adventurous and giving, Levi died beside his friends and sweetheart, Joanna.
Everybody should know that Levi Wallace was a young man that made outsiders insiders. When he smiled, his whole face smiled. So his eyes smiled, everything about him lit up, and it would light the room up.
And he was always just a great kid in that he always took advice of his parents. If they figured something was better for him, he'd say okay, and he'd do that. And you never know when something's going to change that'll impact your life, that'll take your life. So that's always my advice, to hug your families.
22-year-old Jonathan McGeary, 18-year-old Joanna Neighbor, and Sabrina Giblin, 19, were also lost. And because emotional hardships and financial hardships often coincide, friends of the victims created a GoFundMe account for the families.
A bunch of us got together and we thought, could we start a fund for these young people that could help? If there was 4 young people that I ever met that were on their way to changing lives, wherever they went, it was these 4 young people. And so if we could give back to that, to their families, to help with that, that's all we're asking.
Judging only by the sheer number of vehicles that fill the parking lot at Heights Church today, one can easily see how much these 4 young people meant to their community. Inside the building, there are nearly 1,000 chairs set up, and almost every one of them is filled. In Prescott, Arizona, for NAZ Today, I'm Sierra Ferguson.
A donation fund has been set up to raise money for the funeral for these 4 people. They have already raised a little over $30,000 out of their $80,000 goal. If you would like to join the over 250 people who have already donated, you can visit gofundme.com/4planecrash.